What's going on, everybody? 7up07 here, and welcome to another collection update video. This is going to be another one of the ones that I've kind of gotten accustomed to doing that's aside from the Game Hunter series, mostly because basically same as I said in the last collection update video, and I think even in the last Game Hunter video, game hunting has just been really difficult for me lately. There's not been a lot going on from what I can see, and I've just been so busy that I haven't been able to go out on the weekend and really look through yard sales and stuff. I'm going to try to sometime in the near future, but I just haven't really been able to. So, most of my game purchasing and game hunting has been online, or, well, really just online. A couple local things have happened, which I decided to go ahead and do in this video and not wait until the Game Hunter. So I have like half of a Game Hunter video worth of content, but I had so much extra stuff from different sales and stuff going on recently that I had to just go ahead and make one of these videos. So yeah, there's been sales on multiple different websites lately, and like Best Buy and all sorts of different places have had sales going on. So for that reason, I just decided to go ahead and show all of that stuff in a separate video. So I guess I'll start with a couple of the bigger store purchases that I've done, and I'll go to the local trades and to the online purchases that I've made. But so first of all, I guess I'll start with Best Buy, some stuff that I bought. I think both in-store and online. I've really been trying to take advantage of that Gamers Club Unlocked card. Gives you the 20% off of brand new games and 10% off used games. I'm not a big fan of their used games. I've tried to order one online, and they are, you know, same as ordering with GameStop. You never know if it's going to be complete or not. And both of the games I've tried to order online through Best Buy have been disc only. Well, actually, one of them was a DS game, and it was the cart only, which is not surprising. But the other one was a disc only game, so I just didn't pick it up. I got it shipped to the store for free. Told them I didn't want it. It's no big deal. But so for that reason, I haven't really been trying to do any used games through Best Buy, but I've gotten a couple new games, so we'll start with those. First one they had on sale is Saints Row 4 Re-Elected Edition. Yeah, that's what it's called, and that includes the Get Out of Hell DLC. So Nisha is particularly a big fan of Saints Row. She didn't like 4 as much, but I think she wanted to play Get Out of Hell, and it was just so cheap, and it's the PS4 version. I couldn't pass it up. It was like 10 bucks. Next one is Game of Thrones. This is the complete, I think, 5 episodes. Usually it's 5 episodes. Yeah, episodes 1 through 5. The Telltale Games series on this. I've heard it's really good. I haven't played it yet. As you can see, it's still sealed. But I've heard it's really good, and I think that's one that we're actually going to get into pretty soon. Next one is another episodic game, and that is Life is Strange. I went ahead and went with the limited edition. I think with Gamers Club Unlocked it was like $32 or something. Free store pickup, so really, really cool. We have started this one. I'm a fan of this game so far. It's a really cool art style and just general feel. The music is really good in it. A couple of the characters are pretty annoying, but I guess, I mean, really, you can tell that they're supposed to be, so it's really not a big deal. But like I said, I went with the limited edition. Comes, of course, with the game. Came with a soundtrack and an art book and stuff. So pretty cool. But I'm dying to get through the rest of this game. I've heard that it gets pretty crazy, and a couple of my friends said it messed them up emotionally. So we'll see what happens. Right now, we're nearing the end of episode 2, and nothing devastating has happened yet. So we'll see what happens with the rest of the game. So that is it for Best Buy. Now I'll move on to the inevitable GameStop trips that I always end up taking, even though I talk shit about GameStop all the time, and I try to avoid going there as much as possible. I always end up taking a trip there. So the first thing is pretty excusable that I went to GameStop for, considering it was a GameStop exclusive, and that is the Witcher 3 DLC, the Hearts of Stone expansion. Which this is the one that, of course, you could just download this, and there's no disc in here, it's still just a download code. But if you're not familiar, this is the physical edition that comes with 2 full Gwent card sets, which I really wanted to get because I'm a fucking nerd and I love Gwent, and I wanted to play it with some of my friends, you know, in real life. So I ended up getting this. It comes with the Scoia'tael and the Monsters deck. If you've played Witcher and you've played Gwent, you're familiar with those. So much fun. I love, and they're just so detailed. I'm not going to really open it up too much here, but you can just see that the cards are super detailed and just really, really well done, and it really is the full deck. And at first I didn't even realize until I looked further into this that it was actually 2 full decks of cards, but it is. And I'm pretty disappointed that not only did I not get in on a collector's edition of Witcher 3, the game itself, but the other 2 decks that you can have were an Xbox One collector's edition exclusive, which is pretty lame. I'd really love to get my hands on those. I looked it up just on a whim to see, and they want like $200 people are wanting for those. So the Witcher 3 collector's editions actually went way up in price after they stopped being released and sold out and stuff. So I'm hoping there's a new one, Blood and Wine, I think it's called, is coming out, the new DLC for Witcher, and I'm really hoping that they're going to re-release the other 2 Gwent decks with that. I've heard rumors that that may be true, but I'm not really sure. So, funny story about this one. They had it on sale at GameStop for $10. I had looked like 2 days before I went, hadn't had time to get over there. I finally heard a rumor that they were pulling them off the shelves, so I literally rushed right to GameStop as soon as I heard that, and I got there and asked them, hey, do you have it? They said, yeah, sure. They went back and they said, oh, this is our last copy. Tried to ring it up, and it rang up as a penny, which, for those of you who don't know, if something rings up for a penny at GameStop, that usually means they are not supposed to sell it. Some stores will do it, but really, according to corporate rules, they're not supposed to do it. So I said, look, man, I really wanted to get this. You're just going to end up sending it back. It's going to sit on a shelf. You know, this guy was clearly one of the GameStop employees who actually games, and he had already nabbed one himself and didn't realize that it was a GameStop exclusive. So he went ahead and rang it up for me and let me get it. So I was pretty thankful about that. A couple other ones that I got at GameStop. I've been really trying to stock up on RPGs lately. I'm an RPG lover, and I just sort of was looking through my collection and realized that I have plenty of RPGs and I've played plenty, but the collection as a whole really didn't show how much I liked RPGs. And there's just, you know, when I finished a game recently, I was looking through and I was trying to pick RPGs, and there were some, but I just realized that my actual choices were not as broad as I would like them to be for the next RPG to play. So I went ahead and started stocking up, and you'll notice that a lot with all of these pickups all around. So first one I got at GameStop is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I've heard this one's really good. I have not played it yet, though. Magna Carta 2. I don't think this one is as good as the PS2 one, but it's an Xbox 360 exclusive title also. So I'm going to give this a shot one day, but I also need to go back and play Magna Carta on PS2, because I played it briefly, but I never got very far. And I don't have it anymore. And then just 2 kind of bullshit games that I picked up, because they're like $1 each, maybe if that, were a couple Kinect titles, just because I needed something to test the Kinect with, which I still haven't done, but I will, and that's Kinect Adventures and Kinect Sports. So that's it as far as like the local stores that I went to and bought stuff. Surprisingly enough, even though I'm usually really bad about it, I steered clear of eBay pretty well for the past month or 2. I only purchased 1 game on there, and I specifically went there for this game. I wanted it really bad, Nisha wanted it really bad, so I went ahead and picked it up. Any of you that have seen our videos before know that we are fans of the Sherlock Holmes Adventure series that's put out by Frogwares. And they have, you know, we just finished Crimes and Punishments, which if you've seen one of our last couple collection update videos, you know we had gotten it. And I don't think we had started playing it then, but we played it, beat it in just a few days. Fairly short game. Awesome game, really loved it. We've played the other one on 360, Testament of Sherlock Holmes, and then in all of these games they constantly make references to the Jack the Ripper case, so I went and found Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper on 360. Yeah, had to pick this one up. I don't expect it to be very polished, because I know that Testament of Sherlock Holmes was pretty clunky, had a lot of issues, but it just was a lot of fun to play still. We both kind of love it for its faults. But Crimes and Punishments, the new one, really polished, really looks nice, plays well, was interesting. I loved all the mechanics to it. So this one, as fans of the series, we're going to go back and play this one, but I don't expect it to be very polished at all. We'll see how it goes. Now that I went back and looked through this, I'm actually shocked that that's the only eBay item that I bought as far as just a game. There's a couple other like random bits and pieces I picked up on eBay, but that's it. So next thing, there were a couple of... I've gotten to where I actually try to follow the sales that just as opposed to going on eBay or whatever, I try to find the sales that are actually going on for each developer, or for you know, whenever Amazon drops prices or has a sale, whatever. So one thing that happened recently, I don't know if any of you keep up with this, but Square Enix had a good sale going on. Half price on a lot of their good games, and good titles too. They weren't just whatever kind of titles, they were some of the good titles. I got to it, I think, a day late, so I missed out on a couple that ended up selling out or were no longer on sale. But I did grab a couple that I definitely wanted to pick up. So, first one being Chrono Cross. I had the disc only of this, but I didn't have the game itself. Obviously, I'm not excited that it's the greatest hits, but I should know that that's what it's going to be. I might even keep this one sealed and keep the disc-only ones that I have, and then, you know, if I want to play it, I can play those, and then just look for a black label at some point. I kind of just took the gamble on it because it was like $5 after the half price, but, I mean, I really should have expected that it would have been greatest hits, and of course it's one of the newer copies that says Square Enix on it as opposed to Squaresoft. Here's another one that I had missed out on a long time ago, and I keep, even to this day, hearing things about it, about how good it was. That's the World Ends With You DS game. I don't know a whole lot about the actual mechanics of the game, but I just keep hearing how good it is and how kind of different and unique it is, so I'm going to check that one out. Of course, you all know I'm a fan of this series, Dragon Quest. I ended up going with Dragon Quest IV. I kind of wish I had gotten Dragon Quest V. I'm not sure why I didn't. It was a little more expensive, but this, of course, is a remake of Dragon Warrior 4, which did come out in North America on the NES, but Dragon Quest V never came out in North America, and that's actually what I meant to buy. Like, after I went back and thought about it, that's the one I should have got, because it never came out in North America, and I've never played it. So, but either way, I got Dragon Quest IV, Chapters of the Chosen. Never can hurt. One I had debated on buying for a really long time, pretty much since it came out, but I never really wanted to drop the money on it, especially considering it's a remake, is Final Fantasy X and X-2 Remaster Edition. Ended up getting this for about, I want to say $18, something like that. I forget exactly the price that they had on it. Pretty good price for this game, because I was waiting for it to kind of go down, and it never was going down in price. But I had been wanting to go back and play Final Fantasy X. Of course, I have the PS2 version of both of these games, but I really want to see what the HD remaster is like on the PS4. And then lastly, from the Square Enix sale, I grabbed Dragon Guard 3, PS3 exclusive. One of the newer titles. Really surprised it's only a PS3 exclusive. I think it came out 2013? It looks like it came out either 2013 or 2014, so kind of surprised. You can even see that it has the newer, like PS4 looking label on it, but it's a PS3 only game, so I'm kind of surprised about that. I never played Dragon Guard 2. I still don't have that one for PS2, but I do have the first one, and it's a pretty cool game, so that one was fairly cheap. I think that one was only like $6 or something like that. And then also at the same time, they had, with every order, you get a Final Fantasy little sprites lanyard, which is really cool. I like it a lot, and it says Square Enix Online Store on it. Alright, continuing with a couple of the online store sales. I know NIS America had a pretty big sale going on not too long ago. I wanted to get in on it. I don't remember exactly why I didn't. There was I don't even remember exactly what the sale was. There was a couple things I wanted to get, but it just didn't quite do it for me, so I ended up missing out on it. And I think one of them maybe only came in a grade. I don't remember. I really don't remember. But there were a couple other good ones. Bandai Namco had a good sale going on. A lot of their games were, I think, half off or 40% off or something like that pretty recently. I wanted to grab more than I did, but I restrained myself and I only grabbed one game, and that was Tales of Gracis F. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Don't make fun of me if I butchered it. Really been trying to get more of the Tales series games lately. After I played Xillia, I was really into it, and of course, like, Tales of Symphonia was always great. So I wanted to try to go for a couple of the other ones, and like I said, just kind of build the RPG collection, so I know this was a good one to go with. And especially the PS3. The PS3 has so many good RPGs, and we didn't really have but a couple of them, so I figured this would be a good one to pick up. Alright, next one. A little bit crazy. So, Newegg had this weird thing going on, which lately, I didn't even realize until pretty recently, not too long ago, that they even sold video games. But they had, actually they've had a couple of different sales where you use a certain code, and it's a very select amount of games that it works for, if only, maybe if only one at a time. I'm really not sure how it worked. I didn't ask any questions. I saw it. It said, if you use this code on this game, you will get it for this price. I said, okay. So, I went ahead and bought the collector's edition of Tales of Xillia 2. This thing is fucking massive. I had no idea that this collector's edition was this big, but it comes with all kinds of stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and break it open for you since I already opened it myself. Comes with this little plushie. Of course, I have not played Xillia 2, I've only played the first one, so I don't know what some of this stuff is or the significance of it. This nice little box is contains a pocket watch. Really something else. It's not actually a pocket watch. It's but it has a mirror and stuff. So kind of interesting. Really, really cool. There's just some random cool stuff in this collector's edition. So, but anyway, I ended up getting it for, I want to say $40. It was like regular price $100. And they had it on sale for like 40, 35 bucks. I can't remember now. Really cool art book. It has like all the characters and their story. Yeah, just really, really cool art book. Of course, the game itself. And it also has a steel book with some pretty cool art on it. And inside of that is not only the DLC for the collector's edition, the special DLC, it also has a soundtrack in there. Kind of forgot what all came in this thing. And then last but definitely not least, this is why this sucker is so big, it comes with a statue of, I guess, the new main protagonist. I don't know anything about him yet because I haven't played it, but seems to be the main guy, like, taking the place of Jude in this one. So yeah, I don't buy a lot of collector's editions. Really been trying to do it more lately if the price is right. Obviously I don't want to blow a whole bunch of money on collector's editions all the time, but the price really was right for this one, and for a game that I had been wanting to buy anyway, couldn't pass it up. Alright, so next things are from some of the video game groups that I'm on Facebook, which kind of been just going to those as opposed to eBay recently for a lot of different things. More easy to find games, more common games, you can go on there and find someone that has it for sale at pretty much any given time. Depends on the group, of course, but when you're in like, I don't know, like 10 groups like I am, you'll find it eventually. So that's really been my alternative to eBay lately. The only negative being, especially for the RPG group that I'm in, The prices are always pretty good. They're a couple of them, like I've said before in past videos, a couple of them make you sell the stuff for less than 15% of eBay prices. But some people on there just really sell their games for really cheap prices, you know, shipping and everything included. So really good groups. So I've bought a few things and also traded. I don't remember, because I've done so much lately, I don't remember the exact prices for everything, but I'm going to do my best. So, first thing, you may remember from the last Game Hunter video, we found this case, a Diablo for PS1, and I was devastated that the game was not in it. So, I happened to see a post someone made on one of the groups that said they had a loose disc Diablo for $20. So, I went ahead and picked that up to complete this. Great price for that, $20 for this game. It's about $40 complete like this, so really happy with that price to complete it, especially for having a case just sitting around. Really wanted to get this, and it's kind of just like a unique game, you know, to have the port on PS1. Staying in that same sector, I really gave the PS1 some love recently. I bought quite a few things for PS1. Next one being a copy of Lunar Silver Star Story Complete. This is one that I had been wanting for quite some time, and he had a really good price on this. All of these I got such a good price on. This is considered the collector's edition. I don't know what other way this game comes, to be honest, but really cool. The box is kind of beat up, but for the price I got it for, absolutely worth it. Unfortunately, this version does not come with the map, which is pretty common to find these Lunars without the map. But of course it comes with the game, all the discs, the manual, and well, this is the manual, but this, the art book slash manual kind of thing. Really cool. So yeah, I'm really happy to have this one. This is one that I had wanted for a long time, and God knows I don't want to pay the price to have it on Sega CD. Maybe one day, but for now I will be perfectly happy with the PS1 version. Alright, next, another one that I had been wanting for quite some time, and the price was just amazing. Star Ocean, the second story, of course, complete. Grabbed this one for 20 bucks, I think, which is a great price for this game. And then last but definitely not least, Kudelka for PS1. This game has actually been going up in price recently, and it's a really cool game, and I wanted to jump on it while I could. I actually got this along with Star Ocean, and I think for both of them I paid $50, which this game could fetch $50 on its own. He wanted 20 for Star Ocean, 30 for this one. Absolutely fantastic prices. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, this one has already jumped in value even since I bought it by you know, $5-6. I really don't know why it's going up in value so much right now, but I'm not going to complain. And for those of you who don't know, this is kind of the precursor to the Shadow Hearts series, which I have not played and I really want to, so I went ahead and picked this up. I had been wanting, it's kind of like a cross between an RPG and a survival horror, and so or at least it has the elements of a horror game. So I've heard really great things about this, and I cannot wait to play this one. Alright, and the last couple I got from that same RPG group, Disgaea Hour of Darkness. And once again, adding to that collection, Tales of the Abyss. Really getting quite a few of these Tales games now, and I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, from another one that I got just recently, got these games for a steal compared to what they're worth. I think $10 shipped is how much I paid for these. A couple of them were whatever, a couple of them I didn't even need. One of them's Airborne Troops Countdown to D-Day. Didn't have it, so I'm still going to add it to the PS2 collection. Because you can never have too many PS2 games, right? Red Dead Revolver, which I already had, but this is another complete copy, and it's in better shape than the one I had, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that one, get rid of the other one. Destroy All Humans. This is one that I have been wanting to get for a while. Loved it when it came out, never went back and played it anymore. Somehow never owned it myself, so ended up picking that up as part of this deal. And then lastly, Predator Concrete Jungle. This one alone is worth probably twice what I paid for all of these. And again, this is from another person in a game collecting group, so I don't know why he wanted to sell them for so cheap, but I was not going to argue with it. He probably spent half of what I gave him just to ship it. So I I don't know what the deal with that was, but yeah, really great price for all of those. Okay, lastly, I went and splurged a little bit. I did trade a couple of games as part of this deal, but most of it I paid outright for. And the deal was just so good that I just couldn't say no. I knew I should have said no just because I didn't need to spend the money, but I couldn't say no. The price I paid for this whole next group of games was less than what just one of them is worth. So, really happy about it. Anyway, what I got here is the entire PS2 .hack series, which, for those of you who aren't familiar with these games, some people do not like these games. I played part of the first one and I liked it. I never went back to it because it was at a weird time. It was at a time where I was having trouble finishing a lot of games, but I did not dislike the game at all. Some people say it's really boring. I also want to watch the animes. They all come with an anime disc, and I really want to watch those. I'm told that if you watch those, it makes the game even better. So I'm going to try to do that. But yeah, all 4 of these, all complete, all in great shape. I'll just go through them. And like I said, of course, all of them have the anime with them as well. But if you don't know about this series, this entire 4-game series here, particularly this game here, this is an extremely valuable game, they are all worth just over $200. Probably, I would say about $250 for all 4 games. So this one alone is worth about $140, give or take. I may be a little off. This is just going from my memory of it, but it's definitely over $100. So I got this for less than the value that this is worth. So really just fantastic price for these. Guy needed money, and he let him go super cheap. A couple other people were kind of on the fence about it before I committed, but I just said fuck it, and I PayPal'd them, and they were mine. So alright, now I'm going to go to a couple of the local trades that I've done. Actually, real quick, I'm going to do a trade. This was an even trade that I did with someone on one of the groups that I'm on Facebook. So, I had gotten in the last Game Hunter video, you know, I got that copy of Dragon Warrior 7. So I posted it, hoping to get some good trade offers. I had a couple of them didn't really work out, and then so I just kind of went with the next best one, which was still very good. I got a very good trade out of this, actually. As far as value goes, I came out way ahead. As far as the actual games, wouldn't have been my first choices, but these are still really solid. So, first part of it was, and this was just for Dragon Warrior 7, mind you, excuse me, this is a complete copy of Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, which is not an inexpensive game. You know, $15 or so, I would say. Next one, Klonoa 2 Lunatea's Veil. Also complete in very good shape. That one is pushing a $30 game, so already getting up there in value. I would have considered trading just those two along with just like a few bucks, you know, maybe $10 or something. But he continued offering. And I got Persona 3 Portable as well, which this one alone has also been going up in price and is probably worth about $40 by itself, so really came out ahead on that trade, I would say. And I'm pretty happy to have the Persona 3. I was kind of on the fence about because I have the PS2 version. I don't know when I'm going to play the PSP version. Maybe I will, but as far as the actual trade value goes, it was definitely worth the trade. Alright, next one is a smaller trade that I did, but some really good quality games that I got from him. I got some Genesis games from this guy. Traded him a few things, I think worth about $30, give or take, some like PS2, Xbox games, whatever. Worth about $30, and then I paid, I think, $50 on top of that. So I did have to pay a little bit for these. Wasn't a direct trade, but got to meet him locally, see the stuff, and we may end up trading again in the future. It was pretty easy trade. So got some complete Genesis games, which I'm pretty happy about. First is Quackshot, starring Donald Duck. Complete. Next is The Immortal. This one's kind of a weird one. The manual on this one is not in great shape. It's kind of beat up and just like hanging around in there. But the game is fine, and it's not valuable enough for me to really care about that. The last one, this is definitely the gem of the trade, Master of Monsters for the Genesis. This is a Genesis RPG that complete is worth about $85, so I did pretty well to grab this one as part of the trade. And those other ones are not cheap either, at least $20 a piece, so once again, with this trade, I came out way ahead. This is one I'm really happy to add to the collection. Really nice Genesis title. Also came with a complete Sonic the Hedgehog 1, which I immediately went and traded to the local game store for some credit, like $5 credit or something, just because it's, you know, maybe worth $10 or so, but it's just, or $8 or something, but like, I just figure it's easier just to go trade it to the local game store. Alright, next one was a much bigger trade as far as quantity goes, maybe not so much value, but I traded basically the Final Fantasy trilogy for PS1, and which of course I had gotten copies of last Game Hunter video. I ended up adding all of the ones that I got from that lot into my collection and taking the other ones out, traded those out because the new ones were in much better shape, and of course the Final Fantasy VII I had previously was a greatest hits, and now I have the black label. But that guy, he wanted those, and I also traded him my old copy, which I also traded out, of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which was a greatest hits copy as well. So I traded him for all this stuff. Again, he got some really solid titles, and I got a lot of kinda titles, but there's some good stuff in there. He was a guy that's new to collecting, so he had some stuff that he had just had laying around or had gotten over the course of his life so far, and he really wanted to get into some PS1 RPGs, so I helped him get started with that. But once again, I definitely came out ahead on this trade, not as much as the other ones, but definitely it worked out in my favor. First, a few PS3 games, God of War 3 and Resistance Fall of Man. Neither one very special, not worth anything. You can even see the 99-cent GameStop card on that, but both of them are complete. And then here's another cool one, Witch and the 100 Knight complete. A nice NIS America title. I've heard some pretty good things about this one. I've kind of heard mixed things from some people, but overall the consensus is this is a pretty solid PS3 RPG, so I plan to give this one a playthrough as soon as I can too. Next, got a few GameCube games. First one being Super Monkey Ball 2. This one's in really good shape. It even has plastic wrap around the manual. I'm not sure why, like, games don't come like that. I don't know. But really nice shape for that one. Worms Blast, which normally I wouldn't go with this one, but he was throwing it in for free, considering this is also a PS2 game. As many of you know, I don't collect multi-console games on GameCube, only GameCube exclusives. But for being thrown in for free, it's whatever. I'll add it to the collection for right now and probably end up getting rid of it at some point if I get a PS2 version. And lastly, Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse. Not a super valuable game, but a GameCube exclusive, and probably not that bad of a game, to be honest. Alright, also came with a couple Xbox games. First, Quantum Redshift, an Xbox original exclusive. Definitely by no stretch of the imagination a valuable game, but it's an Xbox original exclusive I did not have, so I got it. Project Sylpheed, Arc of Deception. Also not a valuable game by any means, also $1 at GameStop. But again, another Square Enix game that I did not have, and a 360 exclusive. Lost Planet Extreme Condition, the Collector's Edition, I believe. Another 360 exclusive, even though I think this was re-released later. I don't remember, but I know that you can play this on other stuff now. But at the time of its release, it was a Lost Planet. it was a 360 exclusive, so I count it still to this day. Witcher 2 Assassin of Kings Silver Box Edition. Really happy to have this one again. Yeah, I had been wanting Witcher 2, so actually... No, this one I got at GameStop. This was not part of this trade. This should have been with the GameStop stuff. I went to GameStop and bought this one because I had been wanting it. This was not part of the trade. But of course we've been playing through Witcher 3 lately, and obviously enjoying it a lot. I had played Witcher 2 a good bit of the way through. I don't remember how far I got, but I never did beat it, and I forgot a lot of things that happened. So, been wanting to go back and play Witcher 2, so definitely plan on going back and doing that soon. I'm sure both of us probably will end up playing it. But yeah, I had the game at some point, and I think I let one of my friends borrow it, and then I moved away, so he still has it. Alright, next is Lost Odyssey. Oh my god! I forgot this has like 8 fucking discs in it, and they never stay in properly. This is another 360 exclusive RPG, and from what I hear, one of the better ones on 360, but surprisingly I never played it. Somehow I always managed to avoid getting this one, but I do plan on giving it a shot at some point. And then lastly, he just threw in a copy of Soul Calibur 2 on PS2, but there's no game in it. He just said, here, you can have the case. I don't have it. Because originally he had told me it was going to be part of the trade, and it wasn't. So I picked something else, but he still gave me the case. Alright, and lastly, a few other things. A couple of NES games, Abadox and Blades of Steel. The label on this one's pretty messed up, but that's okay. And then Spider-Man for the Genesis. A few more complete Genesis games. Really happy to have all these Genesis games to add. Spider-Man, X-Men, Arcade's Revenge. This one did not come with the manual, but still worth getting. And then Wolverine, Adamantium Rage. Also complete. So some cool comic book style Genesis titles to add to the collection. Pretty happy about that. And then finally, Wonder Boy in Monster World. This is a semi-valuable game for being a loose cart. $20-ish, I think. So overall, pretty good trade. Again, since a lot of his stuff was more, you know, just a few dollars worth here and there, I ended up getting a good quantity, and the value kept going up and up and up. So I think I was wanting 95 bucks for the games that I traded him. I did it through a Craigslist deal, so this stuff was definitely worth over $100. I still came out pretty far ahead. So, and I forgot to mention when I was talking about buying the Diablo on PS1, he was selling that one for 20 bucks. I also forgot that I had this stuff over here. He threw in for 10 bucks more, he threw in a bunch more stuff, so I ended up getting all kinds of loose disc games. Those are empty. A bunch of Dreamcast games. First one, Armada. What's this one? Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. Silver. Carrier. This one looks like a really cool survival horror game. Xenogears Disc 1 only, but he said that he couldn't get it to work. It doesn't actually look that bad, so I'm definitely going to give this one a shot. He said it could have just been his PS1 messing up, but I think he was just trying to get rid of this stuff, and, you know, for the extra $10, it was definitely worth it. Hydro Thunder, Dreamcast. Okay, hold on. And Vigilante 2-8. So all those Dreamcast titles, except for Xenogears, of course. And then he also had, as part of the extra $10, he gave me Disc 2 and 3 of Shenmue, and a Disc 1, which he said didn't work, which I didn't realize meant that it was cracked completely in half. So that one's pretty much completely useless, but Disc 2 and 3 are in great shape and work just fine. So I went and found a case with the Passport disc for around $10 to throw these in. I still need to find a manual and Disc 1, so If any of you guys have a disc one and a manual for Shenmue, or any of the case and manual for any of those loose disc games that I just mentioned, please let me know because I would love to complete these. But I've been wanting Shenmue for a really long time, so I'm happy to at least have gotten it most of the way there. So that is actually it. Quite a few games, but like I said, I'm probably going to end up slowing down a little bit on all the random purchases from sales and stuff, unless it's really something unbeatable, which most of these were just out of this world prices, but I'm going to try to not be so frivolous with it recently, and I'm definitely going to try to go and do some real game hunting soon. So anyway, that is it for this video. Please like if you enjoyed the video, as always, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to check out the other videos and look out for any new collection videos, Let's Plays, whatever, that may be coming out soon. I'm working on a lot of stuff right now, trying to keep the videos coming out as regularly as possible. I will see you guys in the next video.